returns. Hi, everybody. We tricked you, Janeway. We never wanted peace. Rumdar was a spy! Ha 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 ha! What did you learn, Spy? The Enterprise has the biggest bathrooms ever. And she is not Captain Janeway. She is Captain Freeman!
That's what I've been telling you!
Ha ha! I tricked you! And I didn't give up any information either. I'm a good spy.
Wow, yes, you are amazing. I just wish I knew what information you kept secret so I could know how amazing you are.
I didn't tell you anything about our big plan to smuggle a Veruvian bomb onto Earth.
Is that right? Oh, Rumdar, you truly are a master spy.
Two to beam up.
Wait a minute! You just beat Captain Janeway!
Welcome, everyone, to Deep Space Pride, a gay Star Trek podcast. I am one of your hosts, Johnson, and with me is my co-host, Mike Thurlow. Mike, how are you today?
I'm doing all right. How are you today?
I am surviving.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm like at or wavering around baseline. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's kind of a cloudy, like grayish day today. So
yeah. My body is ready for fall, and I'm like, is it fall yet? It's kind of this weird in between, and I'm like, meh.
Yeah, no, it was humid today.
I know.
I went for a run this morning, and
it's like terrible for my hair.
Was
like,
oh yeah,
it gets so frizzy. What about you? Just kidding. For
Funny.
those listeners that have never seen Mike, he has no hair, so that's the joke.
There you go.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was super humid running this morning. I was really surprised. I was expecting a cooler run this morning, and it was not that.
Yeah, how's your training going?
Good. 2.5 weeks in, things are getting a little bit easier, but there are still, some struggles. My ankle wants to act up once in a while, so
yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah, it is. But
be like, calm down, bitch.
Exactly. Or I'm going to do this, so get on board.
Get on board.
Body,
just don't hurt yourself. I can't deal with that. I won't be able to help you.
No, my plan is not to. I'm trying to stretch. I'm trying to warm up a little bit more. So yeah, I'm definitely trying to do all the things so that I don't hurt myself.
Yeah.
But we are 6.5 weeks away from running a half marathon. So
no, I will cheer for you over text message.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. Also today on the news, Doug Jones is coming to Star Trek Mission Chicago.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the missing girl. Oh, the dead girl. Sorry. And her missing.
No, I'm not going to talk about that.
Obsessed. No. I'm like, when is a Netflix special? I'm ready.
No, it's not. It's still in progress. How can they do a Netflix special about
I'm sure someone's already writing a treatment for it. I can guarantee you, I will bet you money that someone out there is writing a treatment for it.
I mean, it's certainly a story that someone could take the basis of and like embellish and create this whole thing around. Absolutely. It's either a Netflix special or a Lifetime movie or something. It's definitely a Lifetime movie. It's definitely a Lifetime movie. Yes.
Yeah.
But I've not paid attention to very many details of this story. So
I've been clicking on every single article. There was an article on the New York Post yesterday because they raided the fiance's family's home, and it was really awkward. It was really odd. They were talking about like how dilapidated the house is, and then they talk about his bedroom and how he has disturbing posters. That they were trying to describe like how disturbing his room was, and they were like, oh yeah, he has a copy of Watchmen on his bookcase. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? And then they go into describing how dark Watchmen is. I'm like, okay, so he's a murderer? Is that what you're trying to infer? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is this? Like, is this journalism? I was like, whatever.
Well, it was the New York Post, so of course it wasn't that journalistic.
I was just like, I was kind of amused. I was like, oh man, someone that is like less critical reading this is probably like, oh, he is a murderer because he has Watchmen.
The New York Post is not something that can necessarily be called serious journalism.
I was like, this is ridiculous.
It's sort of like a trash magazine / onion-esque.
It's like part onion. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
In any case, well, you were saying Doug Jones is going to be in Chicago.
Yeah, let's get back to Star Trek. Maybe we have a Star Trek podcast to talk about.
Maybe we should start like a real life crime podcast.
No, you'll have to find another co-host because that is not something that I want to talk about. All right. You know, I avoid a lot of. I wouldn't say I avoid, but I'm very choosy, selective around what news I follow and listen to, because it's just the world is a crazy place right now, and I don't need all these things happening in the world to be part of my life. So yeah, but in Star Trek news, yes, Doug Jones is going to be at Mission Chicago, so I'm excited. We will definitely be meeting him there. So that is super exciting.
You know him. You guys are besties.
Well, at least, I think we had a memorable enough interview that it will jog his
memorable
memory.
For you. Who knows if it was memorable for him?
No, yeah, true. Maybe,
you were the last phoner, right? Out of like.
No, I think there was more after me. So, I can't remember. Yes, there was, because I had corresponded with the PR firm a little bit afterwards, or I'd called them by accident, and then she messaged me back and said, did you need something or what? Sorry I couldn't get back to you. We had another interview. So there was definitely more after me, but I don't know how many or whatever. But anyway, but hopefully it was memorable, and if not, I think it was memorable enough that he'll have some vague recollection of it from 9 months ago when we.
Yeah, it also had been like a long time.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, yeah. So that's.
So how many celebrities have they secured? Is it like 8 at this point?
They're up to 6 now. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna. I think they're.
It's so far away.
I think they're teasing it out though, which is always a good thing. They want to keep it front of mind. It is the first mission convention, so
right.
They are trying to build it up.
They just better not have those 2 tweens there. I will not stand for it.
Yeah,
so fucking annoying.
Please have a diverse cast of interviewers, etc., but also please let them have some Star Trek knowledge.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And also, repeating the same tweet multiple times. Oh, we've read that one. We've read that one. Yes. Okay.
Or let's play the trailer again and again. I'm like, get out of here, please. Whatever.
So
all in the past.
We covered all that last week, and so that's pretty much it. Next week, Star Trek Coda begins, which is a 3-book finale for the literary Trek universe.
Oh, right.
So the first book comes out by Dayton Ward next Tuesday. So I'm looking forward to that. And no reviews on it yet because I think it's still embargoed, but I've seen people post some pictures of the book already. The audio book is not out yet till next Tuesday though, so that's what I will be listening to next week on my runs.
You and audiobooks.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to enjoy, I also like mental things to do while I'm running.
Okay. Okay.
It keeps my mind busy and it keeps my mind from thinking about how many more miles I have left to run. So
yeah, I hate running. Okay.
yes. So anyway, so that's pretty much all I've seen in Trek news
Okay.
lately. But
I
yeah.
mean, we just had Star Trek Day not that long ago, so that was a
Oh
lot.
wait, there is one more thing. Jeffrey Combs is in tomorrow's.
Oh yes, he plays like this computer, like an evil
he
computer
plays
or
this
something.
computer.
Yeah.
This evil computer that crashes Boimler and Mariner on a planet.
Yeah.
So we'll get to see that tomorrow. But today we're going to talk about last week's episode.
Yeah. Should we get going?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So the Spy Humongous.
Okay. Attention crew. I'm your captain. I'm Captain Boimler. We've got a plasma grid and a temporal rift. Sorry, you said temporal rift, right? Yeah. And lots of danger. But as sure as this is my captain's chair, you can count on me because I'm your captain. Yes, sirree.
We should mutiny.
Sorry. No. I know that wasn't good. It's just, this isn't the same as actually being on the bridge.
The bridge is wherever you are. Close your eyes. Think about Riker and say what he would say from the heart. His heart.
Look, I may not know exactly what we're up against, but I do know that in this, our darkest hour, I'm grateful. Grateful to have a ship and a crew I trust with my life. Now, I'll be honest, there's no guarantee we're gonna get out of this, but if we do, it'll be because of your combined talent and dedication. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your captain. But we're not dead yet, so how about we go in and kick some ass? Red alert! Take us in!
Now that sounds like a captain.
Mike, what did you think about this episode? What were your thoughts? High-level takeaways. I know you liked it.
I did like it.
Did you watch it twice? I only watched it one time. I did not.
I watched it again today, half watching it while doing some work. So, I didn't really pay a lot of attention. It was kind of in the background today. So, it's a good episode. I don't know where to start with it. I think the big thing, the scene that I really paid attention to, that I really liked, even though as we talked about it through text last week, was kind of the retread with Boimler and the red shirts. But my favorite scene was really when he does get the makeover and then is forced to give a speech, and the Enterprise D's bridge comes into
that was kind of nice.
That was really cool to see in animation. So and Captain Boimler did a great job with his speech. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, and also I think I like the undertones about what this episode says about leadership and taking action, rather than it's just not words. It's about taking action. And so I think the other big thing that I really enjoyed about this was the Ransom comment to Boimler about what a great job he did. Something just as simple as that is really, really cool. The whole, I still don't really get the whole, other than we know that the Pakleds aren't the smartest aliens in the universe. But I don't know why they keep on calling the Cerritos the Enterprise. I don't know why they call Captain Freeman Captain Janeway.
I mean, I think they're just being dumb with it. They're just like saying how dumb they are, which is like, I get it,
Yeah, and then we have the whole anomaly cleanup day happening, which,
right,
hijinks happen,
right,
and
yes, it's a continuous comedy of errors, essentially.
Yes, essentially, yeah. So, Yeah, I think it's enjoyable. I still think that last week's episode was my favorite. Yeah, with Boimler and Mariner together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This was definitely a different dynamic with Boimler being part of this Red Shirts club and the other three of the lower deckers hanging out and doing this anomaly cleanup duty.
Right.
But I did enjoy, and I posted it on Instagram or reposted the, nothing ruins breakfast like a work email, a work assignment from Mariner. So there were some definitely enjoyable situations, and we get to see Kayshawn again with Ransom. So
yeah, and we've seen him before after he got turned into a puppet, but didn't have. I don't think he's had speaking lines until now.
Yeah, so
because we see him in the background,
right? Yeah,
things.
Yeah. So it was an enjoyable episode. I'm hoping things get more exciting and better. I'm looking forward to more Boimler and Mariner. I think that's my favorite dynamic on this show.
Yeah.
So yeah. What about you? What did you think of the episode?
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I don't think I liked it as much as you did. I didn't dislike it. I just I didn't have very strong feelings about it either way. So it's kind of like middle of the road for me, which is not bad. It was just like not stand out. And for me, the Boimler stuff, it kind of was, to me, it was kind of a retread to him kind of promotion chasing, which was, we saw a lot of that in season 1. So for me, it was kind of just going back to the same well of him. And, this time he does get more like pulled into it versus him. And he actually showed a little bit of like uncertainty towards the beginning because he felt bad about abandoning, the rest of the gang. But it was still kind of like going back to that same thing again to me a little bit. I did like some of the scenes that came out of it. Like, yeah, the Enterprise D scene was good, but for me, it was, I guess at the end, it's kind of also nipping that plot line in the bud, because at the end, he's just like, yeah, I don't need to do this. He sticks with his friend and, the kind of leadership that he understands, I think, now to be true leadership, right? So maybe it is kind of like wrapping that up a little bit. It's, I just don't need another situation where I mentioned last week where I was like, I don't know if I need another reiteration of Mariner having abandonment issues. I don't need us to go back to that many times. Let's move on. Let's have new challenges. Let's grow these relationships. Let's grow these characters. So that's why for me that felt a little flat. And yeah, I don't really know how I feel about the Mariner Tendi Rutherford storyline, because it was kind of just over the top, and it was this continuous like hijinks, as you called it. It kind of just went on for a while. Like it's very similar to how I felt about Strange Energies, where Ransom was kind of like, it was getting more and more ridiculous. And then after a while, I was like, all right, like I get it, because especially in animation, they can just do a lot of these like silly things that are very cartoony. And then after a while, I'm kind of just like, all right, this feels like more and more like just like a cartoon. And it kind of, after a while, kind of like loses its appeal. Like, it's just like, all right. And then I guess the point, what was the point of that? It was like Tendi got frustrated. I know Tendi got frustrated. She turned into like a scorpion creature of some sort, but what was the,
she wanted
the lesson learned?
She wanted to do something as a gang together, work together.
Right.
So she signed them up for this.
Enthusiastic. She was trying to be enthusiastic and positive.
Yeah. Yeah. So she, that whole idea of like being enthusiastic and working together and just having fun, having a good day together versus, boring
Right.
whatever, this was obviously she wasn't in sick bay. We didn't even see Tiana this week. Tiana.
Tana.
Tana.
I don't know. So yeah, that was just okay. I thought that was okay. Honestly, I think the most interesting plot line, and there was also a lot going on in this episode again, but in a way that kind of didn't really. Sometimes there's a lot going on and it feels very much like in sync for me, even though there's like so many plot lines going on. And a good example of that would be like the episode where it's Mariner and Tendi, and they chase after that artifact for Tiana. Right. There was a lot going on in that episode too, but for some reason that kind of jived, like all the different storylines just jived really well. And this one felt like a little bit less connected for me for some reason. Because obviously a big plot line here is Captain Freeman with Shax on the planet. And obviously confusion, she's not Janeway, but the Pakleds and that whole plot line, I do want to know where this is going and what the end game is. And then it was weird because at the end of the episode, it was revealed like, oh, they're planning to like bomb Earth. Yeah. But then there was like no like follow up to that. They were like, okay, see you later. And then there was like no, oh, let's talk to Starfleet Command or something. Like, it was just like they kind of just go their merry way from the planet. I thought that was a little odd way to finish it because they got the info that they were looking for, but then there really wasn't a follow-up. Maybe in this episode there'll be something, but I'm sure there will be something. But I'm also kind of just like, where is this going?
Yeah, I think that question comes up because they started to give the bridge crew a little bit more to do in these episodes, and so we're kind of getting into that kind of next generation episode where things are sort of wrapped up and like you see these other pieces, but in reality in Lower Decks we really don't see, like, we never find out how Shax comes back. There's just all these missing pieces. So I think that this is another one of those missing pieces that it sort of happened behind the scenes, like she reported it to Starfleet Command, and whatever happens next happens.
But they're obviously making it a big deal. Like they're like, the Pakleds are kind of the season's big bad. So I'm kind of like, I kind of want more of a payoff for the Pakleds since we're getting so much of them this season. And I don't really know how much I like the Pakleds. They kind of remind me of like this season's like Ferengi, like, what the Ferengi would have been for TNG. It's like, are they supposed to be funny or threatening? It's kind of this weird straddling of like, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to kind of like, if I'm supposed to laugh at them or kind of feel that there's something really bad about them. It's kind of like both. But that's how I thought about the Ferengi in season, like early days. It was kind of like, that's why they didn't succeed as a villain, at least for TNG. Maybe for the Pakleds, for Lower Decks makes more sense because of the comedic nature of the show and the mood, while TNG took itself very seriously, and that's why it didn't work. But they kind of remind me of that kind of villain, where they're kind of silly but also threatening. It's like I don't know what to make of them.
I don't think we know what to make of them yet. And I'm more looking forward to the Borg for this season. Like let's see what they're going to do with the Borg episode. That's really what I'm waiting for. I don't know what the culmination of this season is going to be. I guess we didn't really know what the culmination of season 1 was going to be either. So.
Well, season 1's big mystery was, or not mystery, or I would say like through line was Mariner and Captain Freeman. Yeah, Mariner and Freeman's like relationship.
Yeah.
And because that was like that was, I would say, a through line through season 1 and that reveal in the last 2 episodes.
Right. Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah. And this season we have the Pakleds, and I agree. I don't know how strong this is, but they definitely played them up pretty well. And I'm wondering, if they're going to wrap this up, or is this just going to be something ongoing?
Well, we remember in episode 2 where we were following the Titan. I think it was Riker that was like, "Oh, they were saying that there's someone behind this because they didn't think the Pakleds would be capable of like kind of doing."
Oh, right, yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
So maybe there's like a reveal, like, you know, who's like actually manipulating the Pakleds or something like that.
I mean, maybe it's the Borg. Who knows? Maybe that would be
a twist.
That would be a twist.
That would definitely be a twist. So this episode was fine. It was I didn't have I didn't have the strong feelings I had as I did for the Mugato episode where I didn't really like it. But it also didn't reach the highs of what the season has had either for me. So it's kind of more in the middle. I would give it like out of 10, I would give it like a 6 or something.
Yeah, I'd be right around there, 6 or 7 for this episode. Yeah. Definitely.
I can't really quite put my finger on it, like in terms of why I felt that it felt so disconnected to me, like the different ABC.
I mean, I think that's the reason the storylines were sort of disconnected. They were all there wasn't any.
They brought the two storylines, the Mariner Tendi Rutherford storyline. They brought in the Boimler story. They brought it back together at the end.
Yeah, they brought that, but then the whole Pakled thing is completely separate. Oh, and Tayana was in the episode because she examined the Pakled.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So we saw everybody this week. Everybody was here. Everyone was there. So yeah, I feel like it's skewing more towards next gen territory and a little bit away from, the lower deckers a little bit.
Maybe. Yeah.
So, based upon nothing other than that mid-season trailer, I'm hoping that the lower deckers have something to do with the Borg and other things.
It looks like it.
So hopefully,
But knowing the show, I'm not really sure how. I mean, we get a Borg cube, but I don't really know like how. It might be much ado about nothing as well. Like,
sure, it might be. You're right, and we just have to wait and see.
It might just be like kind of like a cameo kind of deal, like Q or something.
Yeah.
Where it's no big deal.
Yeah, you're right. It might be. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's really everything about the episode. I think I would say it wasn't their strongest one of the season. It was midway, midland.
It was middling.
Middling. That's what I'm trying to say. Wow. Wednesday has definitely got the best of me today. So
and I don't even know, like I didn't even look into some of the anonymous artifacts, any of them. Oh yeah, we also got Armis at the end. Totally forgot about that.
Oh yeah, actually that was probably the best part of the episode.
Yeah, because I was just kind of like, all right, it's just like so random.
Because I had actually just watched The Skin of Evil last week.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, I was listening to the another podcast and they were talking about it. So
okay.
So I ended up watching it again.
But we forgot to talk about it because apparently it was like whatever. It's kind of just thrown in.
Yeah, I mean it was a funny. Actually, I think the Star Trek just posted like that little clip on Instagram again. So yeah, that's kind of funny. Yeah, that I enjoyed. I thought that was really, kind of cool. And
it was kind of random. I was like, all right,
yeah, random but fun. And and I did see Mike McMahon talk about it, and he said like what a episode. Like how impactful that episode was to him, obviously because
Skin of Evil.
Yeah, because Tasha was killed, and this big evil thing that you just, this evil black gooey thing that kills people who randomly, So he was definitely traumatized, and this was his sort of getting back at Armis. So which I thought was kind of cool. So yeah, that's definitely an enjoyable piece of this episode at the end. So you're right. So there were some good parts to this episode, but I as far as the other anomalies go, I don't
even, I didn't. Nothing even struck me as like. I feel some of them must have been Easter eggs, but I wasn't even that interested.
I agree. Yeah, none of them were. It wasn't the kind of Easter. If they were deep cuts, deep cut Easter eggs. Unlike from the beginning of the season when we saw all the collector's ship and all of the Easter eggs there. So, yeah, but none of those anomalies were any fun or interesting. They were just
kind of random.
They were all just kind of, but I'm sure there's probably some story behind at least some of them for sure.
Oh yeah, there has to be. Knowing knowing the production crew behind the show, there has to be. I just don't. None of them really stood out to me where I was like, oh, that is from that. At least in my first viewing. So
right, exactly. So well, there we go. The Spy Humongous, or as I finally realized, the Spy Among Us.
Yeah, I didn't even register that until you mentioned it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Funny. Cool. All right. Well, I guess that's it for this episode. We're gonna do a little bit of off topic. So why don't we go into that? All right. So, Mike, other than Star Trek, what has been going on in your life, entertainment-wise? Things have been amusing you and taking up your time.
I would say that I have. I've been binging Babylon 5.
Oh my God, you're back to Babylon 5?
Yes, but I just finished the 4th season and I'm pretty much done. I'm not going to watch the 5th season. At least I don't intend to right now. Mainly because Susan Ivanova is not in the 5th season, and she's a major character for 4 seasons, and she didn't come back for the 5th season, and so I jumped ahead to what I knew as the finale of the series was, and so I wrapped that up.
Okay, so you're done with Babylon 5.
Yeah, I'm not, unless I decide to go and dip into the 5th season, which I don't plan to right now. And then I've also been watching I've been watching a little bit of Alias.
Oh yeah, you're still watching Alias. How is that going? Is Michael Vaughn still hot?
Michael Vaughn is still hot.
Yes, he is.
Now to the other.
Oh, he's married to the evil girl.
Oh, is she evil? Don't tell me this. I don't remember.
Oh my God. Okay, I didn't expect that you didn't remember anything.
I don't remember. I have not watched this show since it aired.
What's her name? Probably. Lauren or something?
Lauren, yes. Wow, look at you. You are a
I don't know. Sometimes I just remember random shit.
You are the Cliff Clavin of
it's very selective. It's like my mind palace, and then there's there's shoe boxes everywhere, and then I was dig through shoe boxes.
Lauren is correct, yes. So he's married to Lauren. They're clearly so it's just a different vibe to this season. I'm not enjoying it as much as the first 2 seasons, which we had talked about. The first 2 seasons are excellent. The 3rd season, kind of this 2 years later thing.
I feel that time jump kind of ruined the show, unfortunately.
So we'll see. And then I've been watching a little bit of Archer. I caught up with this.
I've never seen it.
Oh, Archer! It's an amusing animation show that is just ridiculous and good background while I do other things. So, but I finally caught up, I think, to the current season. I think so. I was a few seasons behind, but it's on Hulu, so I caught up with that.
Okay.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for my entertainment. What else? We've been watching a few movies on Netflix and whatnot, and you introduced me to the Squid Game trailer, so I will probably at some point pick that up.
It got good reviews too. I was like, how did I miss this? So
yeah, but it only just came out last week, so it definitely has the Alice in Borderland vibe to it.
Except it's not Japanese, it's Korean. Thank you.
No, it's the other way around. This is Japanese, not Korean.
No, it's Korean.
This is Korean? I thought Alice in Borderland was Korean too.
No, what is Alice in Borderland was Japanese. Remember, they were in Japan. They were like in Shinjuku or Shinjuku, like the Times Square in Japan that when it empties out.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever been to Tokyo, but
I have not been to Tokyo, so okay. Yes, but I am familiar with that. All right. So anyway, it has the same vibe.
It does have the same vibe. Yes. It has that vibe of, are you on mute on purpose?
Nope. Sorry, I hit the button by accident. Okay.
Because it looked like you were still talking. I was like,
I was thinking about what to say about it, and then you said that. Yeah, no, it looks it's it's kind of apocalyptic. Not really. This one doesn't seem as apocalyptic as just really out there.
It's a little dark. People are brought together to play this deadly game. It's kind of like Hunger Games a little bit. It has a little bit of Hunger Games. It has a little silly, over the top.
Yep. So probably check that out. But at some point soon. But what about you? I think that's pretty much it for me. What about you? What have you been watching?
Yeah. So I started watching Q-Force on Netflix. Have you been getting those ads?
Oh yeah, Dennis watched it. I caught parts of the season throughout.
It's all right. It's not. Yeah. It's not really my jam. I think I watched like 2-3 episodes. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of funny. It's kind of like it's for those who don't know, it's basically like it's kind of like Archer but gay. Like I guess that would be, I think. Even though I've never seen Archer, like I've seen enough commercials to kind of know what Archer's like.
Yeah.
Except the main character is gay and his whole team is gay.
Yeah.
And it's animated. It's a cartoon. It actually looks, even animation style, it kind of has that look. It's a little bit brighter than Archer, but like it has that like very traditional animation style, very clean. And it's all right. It's okay. I mean, like, it's silly. It's silly. It's very over the top. The characters, I guess the characters are just very, like, some of them are very stereotypical, which I know it's a cartoon. It's like whatever, right. But yeah, some of them are very stereotypically gay, which, you can argue that in many ways, whether that's good or bad, but I don't know. It's fine. I watched like 2-3 episodes. I stopped watching it, so I don't think I'm gonna keep on watching. It's fine. I'm watching. I'm more. I am definitely more into. I think this is where one area where you and I differ quite a bit is. I'm really into like dark stuff. I really like dark dramas. I like horror. Not your jam, I know. No, but I'm watching Impeachment, American Crime Story on FX. It's about Bill Clinton's impeachment, so it's not about Donald Trump's impeachment. And I mean, honestly, I'm watching it. I'm like, this is kind of tame compared to like what we've been through. Honestly, the past 4 or 5 years, I'm like, he had sex with an intern. It's like, what's the big deal? Of course, they need to make it a big deal because they need to make a whole show out of it. But it's almost like, oh my God, this was a scandal. Like compared to our lives, like what we've seen. Right,
yeah, definitely.
It's just pales in comparison, but they need to make literally like 10 episodes out of this Monica Lewinsky scandal. And it's just like, literally, like when comparing it to our lives, it is, I just don't, it's kind of soapy because they need to make the drama, and everything. And what is interesting is that the show takes the perspective of the women. So it's it's Monica Lewinsky's perspective, Linda Tripp's perspective. Like they're the main characters. Bill Clinton's in it, but he's like almost secondary, which is interesting. So I do like that perspective of it, but I do feel it's a little soapy, which I don't mind. So I'm still watching it. I actually think the acting's really good. I am liking it. I'm still watching Ted Lasso, and I started watching the morning show. So you haven't watched the morning show yet? You don't have Apple TV Plus right now, right?
Right now, no, yeah, I canceled that one, and they.
Okay, so I have to mentally prepare you for the season of the morning show. So you like season one? Season one, was great. I love season one. Great acting, great drama, riveting. Honestly, at the end, I was like rivet. I was like on the edge of my seat. It was great drama, great character drama. This season, just to mentally prepare you, it is the 3 months leading up to March of 2020.
Right.
The whole season basically takes place leading up to those 3 months. And it is slightly triggering. It is slightly triggering.
Yeah, I did read it.
It's slightly triggering. I'm like, my son will watch this and he's gonna get fucking triggered.
Yep. So, I mean, I did hear that already. So I mean,
it's so good. It's so good. And there's a lot of foreshadowing. Like, they definitely foreshadow. They'll make a mention of like, oh yeah, there's this like, respiratory illness in China, or they'll just drop this line, or like someone will just sneeze, and it's like, okay, I got it. I understand where you're going with this. Yeah, it's interesting because like, it's very first world problems, like these characters that are all tremendously successful and wealthy, and it's all about their drama and their struggles. And I am interested to see how they kind of then introduce the pandemic and how their problems are, in the shadow of the pandemic, like how things are put into perspective or like things like that. I am interested to see how that all goes. But I'm like, okay, like this feels very familiar because it's supposed to. And of course, so the first episode takes place on New Year's Eve of 2019-2020. And everyone's like, oh, 2019, what a terrible year. I'm like, all right, I get it. I understand.
So I did read a little bit about this, and from what I understand, they had to go back and add some of this.
They like they read the whole season.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll see. I'm actually not. I'll watch it, or at least I'll watch the first couple episodes when I renew. But I am getting Apple TV Plus again, mainly for Foundation.
Yes,
good.
So it's Friday.
And also Invasion. I want to kind of see how they.
Yes.
So that's
October.
Really why I'm getting it. And I may try to catch up on For All Mankind season 2, which I never watched. So.
Oh my God! I forgot that you never watched season 2.
Yeah.
Can we please talk after you watch season 2 of For All Mankind?
Of course, yeah.
I have so many thoughts about season 2 of For All Mankind.
Okay.
I mean, it was great, but I definitely have thoughts. I have notes.
Okay. Yeah. We can definitely. Of course, we always talk about shows that we watch. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
anything else? Yeah. So you sent me a really long list.
Oh my God, there's so much happening. Like I was just like thinking about like how much new TV is coming out this fall and winter. I'm like, there's a lot. I just like this is just a list I went all the time in my head, and I didn't even. I'm sure there's other stuff that I'm like looking forward to. So I know you're not looking forward to it, but Midnight Mass is coming out Friday. Yeah, no. Very excited for it. I know you're not into horror. I love Mike Flanagan. I love The Haunting of Hill House. It was so good.
Yeah, no,
and it wasn't even that scary. I know you're not into that shit, but I didn't think it was that scary. It's very character driven. It's about like trauma, like in how that is the family trauma, family dysfunction, and how that is like kind of the real horror. Like in some ways, it's very interesting. While Midnight Mass is a heavy commentary on Catholic fanaticism, like religious fanaticism, but from a Catholic perspective, which would totally be triggering for you, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But
on top of it being horror, I don't think I need any of that in my life.
Yeah. So I'm like, I love that shit. I'm like, yes, trigger me. So I'm really looking forward to it. And then the reviews are fantastic. Like people are like, it's perfect. It's like the best horror series ever. Like I'm like very excited. It's only 7 episodes.
It's a series, so it's not a movie.
Limited series, 7 episodes. Yep. He does a lot of limited series. Like these are all kind of anthology standalone.
I am looking forward to another show, The Witcher season 2.
Yeah, December.
Yeah, not until December though.
Yeah, that's a little far away. We talk about Foundation. That's also coming out this Friday. Then we have 2 new Star Trek series, or rather seasons. October. Well, 1 new series, 1 new season. October, November.
Yep.
So
we have a lot. Also today I just watched the first episode of this. I was surprised. I went to Disney and Star Wars Visions is out, and they put all nine of these shorts up all at once. I thought they were going to come out weekly, and I watched the first one, The Duel, and it was really good.
And how long are the episodes?
14, like anywhere 10 to 14, 15 minutes. So they are short. The Duel was excellent, and also this character is going to be in a new book that comes out early next month for Star Wars called Ronin. So I'm excited about that too. But the first episode was really good. So it's
cool. I didn't even know. I mean, I think I saw some headlines about it, but I didn't realize A, that it was out, and B, that the whole season was out.
I didn't think. Yeah, I was shocked to see the whole season. I was expecting to go there and just see 1 episode, and there are nine shorts there. So
that's another thing to watch.
Oh, Hawkeye is coming out. If you're a Marvel fan,
who?
Hawkeye.
What's that?
Like I said, if you're a Marvel fan, you'll know that Hawkeye.
Oh, Hawkeye.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said hot guy. I was like, who's that? Who's hot?
I mean, Jeremy Renner is kind of hot.
Yes. I'm not the biggest Hawkeye fan. What's his face? Jeremy
Renner. Yeah.
He's fine. I think he's fine. I think he's like a stale piece of bread, I feel he doesn't have much of a personality. Like, either him as an actor or this character. And one movie I love is Arrival, which I'm sure you've seen.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Jeremy Renner's in that, but honestly, he's just like literally, he's like next to Amy Adams is a piece of bread. Like I love Amy Adams, but he's whatever. Like
I think the best part of the Hawkeye character is when he goes dark during the blip. And he starts to kill everybody, and
he starts using swords or something, whatever.
Yeah. So
I find Hawkeye to be, unfortunately, one of the least interesting MCU characters, but whatever.
Okay, all right. Well,
I mean, I'll probably still watch it. It's there, but I doubt that it's going to be as interesting as WandaVision or Loki. And it's going to be very straightforward, most likely.
Oh, we'll see. I don't know.
So we talked about Invasion, new Apple TV Plus show coming out in October.
Oh, you mentioned the Wheel of Time, which I don't really have any. It's sort of another anthology, not anthology meaning series, but a series of books. Like I don't know how many.
I didn't read all of them. It's 14 books.
There we go.
I've read up to 6 or 7.
Okay.
And then I got pretty bored. But apparently there's a hump, like 6 through 9 is a hump. I was like, that's a lot of books. That's a big hump. You have to go
3,000 pages.
They're all big, thick, these
they are. They're
big
enormous
fantasy books.
Yeah.
However, I am somewhat excited for the show. It's on Amazon Prime. I did not think the trailer is actually that great. I didn't love the trailer, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know, but we'll see. But that's also coming out.
Yeah,
so there's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. That's just mainly what we like. I'm sure that there are a ton of other shows. Oh, there's the new Wonder Years, which
I'm not sure. Are you gonna watch that?
I don't know. I'm not sure. So there's that.
The Wonder Years. That was like childhood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What was the girl's name? Winnie or something?
Winnie, yeah.
Yes.
Kevin and Winnie. Yeah, that was a great show.
She was really pretty.
Yeah, when she transformed from her nerdy self to.
I just remember her. I was like, she's pretty.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and then I also finished Pandemic Legacy, which is the board game that I threw out.
Board game, yes, you threw out.
Yes. It took 2 years to finish this game. This is a game for those that don't know. It came out way before the pandemic. It was just years and years before, and it's a whole series of games. But this particular one is a season-long game, quote unquote season-long game. It's almost like a TV show. You play through 12 months of a pandemic, and each month there's usually some sort of development, something earth-shattering happens, the disease mutates, things like that. And you are a team that is your task to basically eliminate this disease somehow.
Sounds way too real and
triggering.
Yeah, I can't believe you played Pandemic.
These things don't really bother me. Like,
Oh, I know, yeah. Sure.
But I mean, I wanted to play it during the pandemic, and my friends were like, maybe let's play something else.
Yeah, exactly.
So but we finally finished, and it's one of those games where, again, the game changes over time. You have to like destroy certain pieces of it, like literally you rip things up or you throw things out or whatever. It's very interesting. There are literally these boxes that you open up that reveal like new characters that you get over time or new board game pieces. It's very, very interesting. And the thing is, once you finish it, it's over. You can't, there's no replay value.
Okay.
You throw it out.
You throw it out, which you did, and you posted, and
I recycled it.
And everybody was like, what are you doing? We can't believe that the lover of all games was throwing out a game.
I recycled.
But now, now that you've explained it, it's understandable.
It's understandable. I even recycled the plastic pieces. I separated that out and put it into the plastic recycling versus
very good.
Recycling.
You're
welcome, Planet Earth. You're welcome.
And my future children.
Sure. Whatever. Cool. All right. Well, I think that does it for Off Topic. Mike, anything else that we've been watching, reading, doing?
No, I think that's a good summation. I mean, I think we'll have more to talk about once some of these shows kind of kick off.
Yeah.
Well,
we are definitely going to have 4 weeks where we're going to have 2 episodes of Star Trek to talk about. So that's going to be a bit extra.
That's going to be there's going to be plenty to talk about, and we're tossing around some other ideas to this we didn't even talk about this is episode 50. We've done 50.
Episode 50. Woo!
So
I wasn't sure if we were going to make it, but we did. So here we are.
We've made it a year and 50 episodes, and
we did, bitch.
And we have
congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations to you. And we have a lot of new Star Trek to talk about.
I know. What a time to be alive. As a Star Trek fan.
I mean, this is like the renaissance and the renaissance of a lot of sci-fi and geekdom. Oh, and also something else that we didn't even mention, which I'm a fan of. Doctor Who will be coming out sometime this fall as well.
Oh, okay. I gave up on Doctor Who a few seasons ago.
Yeah.
I didn't. I mean, when they introduced Peter Capaldi, I wasn't a huge fan of his Doctor. And then
the first year was a little rough with Peter Capaldi, in my opinion. And also, I really did enjoy Matt Smith.
I liked Matt Smith a lot.
That's coming out. But yeah, like between Star Wars, so the 3 major sci-fi things that came out that I was into as a kid were Star Wars, Star Trek, and Doctor Who, and all of those are alive and well. Well into my adulthood, and more people are watching them. And
one thing I realized that we did not get at all during Star Trek Day was anything having to do with the cinematic universe, because there's apparently a lot going on there, but nothing. They didn't even like, they didn't talk about anything. I was like, oh, hopefully, future Star Trek days or First Contact days, because they haven't done a good job in terms of like kind of selling both because of the Viacom, CBS, like all that shit. But now that they're
like it's a mess. I mean, it's still
now they're all under Paramount, so they should be able to figure this stuff out.
Whoever
merge those universes a little bit.
Yeah. We don't know if Alex Kurtzman is in charge of that part of the.
I don't think so, but that shouldn't prevent them from making it a thing.
I think that they want to tie it all together, and so I don't know. There's obviously some challenges that we're not aware of that are preventing them from announcing details about at least one movie, if not the several that are rumored.
I don't know.
Production. So
I think there are like technically 3 that are still alive somehow, somewhere.
Yeah, so whatever. Until we get some concrete details, maybe we'll get something in Chicago.
Maybe.
Who knows? Maybe they'll get their shit together in 6 months and can like announce something worthwhile, or they can continue to like just focus on the TV universe. And also I think it's a lot harder now to pull that cast together. I think there's a couple of challenges. One,
you mean the Kelvin timeline cast?
Yeah, the Kelvin timeline cast.
I mean, one of them is dead, so
yeah, I mean
Anton's dead.
Anton's unfortunately passed on, and so there's that.
And I feel they all kind of moved on to different projects. Like,
yeah, they're all doing different things. They're all a lot older.
Yeah.
So they've all become stars in their own right.
Well, Zachary Quinto, I don't feel his career has really progressed much, and I think is game to come back. But
yeah,
I feel everyone else has I don't know, done other things.
Yeah, I think I don't. Zachary's done some plays, I want to say, or some theater work maybe, but
sure.
And so we'll see. Again, these rumors are just ridiculous until we actually get something that's worthwhile to talk about. But
yeah,
I think it's like some little executive in Paramount leaks this every 6 or 8 weeks.
It's like we have a new Star Trek movie we're working on.
Yeah, leaves a memo out somewhere where they know that a reporter is at, and then there we go. We get the new rumors. So whatever, and
whatever.
It's really shocking. I mean, it's not shocking. Really, but it's just really just disappointing that they can't get their shit together around this.
Yeah,
but
that's one thing. I think you mentioned it not in the last episode of the podcast or the one before. You were talking more about toys, but exactly. Star Wars has just done such a great job unifying everything about that world.
Yep,
just from a financial standpoint, logistically, showrunners, creatively. They've just done a good job maintaining a very constant through line through many decades. Where Star Trek, I feel, has just been all over the place,
Yeah, it really has. And there's more of Star Trek than Star Wars. And yet Star Wars is arguably a bigger property in the sense that it has more marketing and more stuff, like books.
Right.
Obviously there's the books for start, but there's just more of it. And out of so little, so it's just it's really, it's my biggest complaint with Paramount is their lack of drive in some of these things. And I was actually thinking about it again this weekend, looking at Legos and thinking, why the heck don't we have Star Trek Legos? Just stupid things like that could have been easily
Playmobil.
Oh gosh, please, that's not Legos.
Well, that's where the Star Trek toys are. So
yeah. So anyway, but so maybe someday we'll get some legitimate PR on a movie more movies, but until they get their shit figured out, I mean.
Well, speaking of products, do you want to talk a little bit about our sponsor?
Yeah, of course. We love Fansets, and we thank Fansets for sponsoring our podcast and the Trek Geeks Podcast Network. The guys, Lou and John, and the team at Fansets are just awesome people, and they make awesome pin collectibles. And most recently, there's a Lieutenant Savick from the Series 3 Women of Trek pin. We've got Dadmiral Vance, as we like to call him, in a micro crew pin. We've got Michael Burnham in her new uniform. Your favorite, Vic Fontaine, is out. And Guinan, as well as they still have available the Jerry Ryan 7 of 9 2021 pin, which is amazing, and I love it. It's beautiful, and it's great, as well as the number 1 Una from the Women of Trek. So there's also all these other properties, everything from DC to Scooby-Doo to Ultraman. They've just got so many great products, and they're constantly releasing new pins.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, so head on over to Fansets, put a bunch of pins. If you like other things other than Star Trek, there are, Batman's in there too, and put a bunch of pins in your cart. If you spend more than $30, shipping is going to be free in the United States. And if you add the code DSPRIDE, all caps,
thank you.
You'll get 10% off your order. And we want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Fansets for sponsoring Deep Space Pride and the Trek Geeks Podcast Network.
Thanks, Fansets. Cool. All right. Well, I guess that does it for this episode. We kind of meandered all over the place in terms of the conversation, but that's how usually these things go. If you have any thoughts, comments, or feedback for us, we'd love to hear from you. You can reach us via email at deepspacepride@gmail.com, or you can reach us on Twitter and Instagram at deepspacepride.
There we go. Yeah.
All right. Anything else to add, Mike, before we sign off?
No, that's it for episode 50. On
All
to
right.
the next 50.
Yes, happy episode 50. Here's to 50 more, or maybe 500 more. Who knows?
Who knows?
This is just the beginning. I laughed. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. Lols. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Deep Space Pride is a production of Coconut Media Works. Executive producers Bill Smith and Dan Davidson. For more great Star Trek discussion, discover the other shows of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network at trekgeeks.com, or find us in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.